What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Theme Weaver, the virtual yoga studio here on YouTube for both yoga practitioners as well as teachers who really appreciate when yoga philosophy and insights are woven into the asana. Today, I have a yummy yin practice for you, and it's all around the idea of stop drifting and start swimming back to yourself. So, a beautiful message around living an intentional life and returning to yourself. If you love this message and you're a teacher who wants to share it with your students, instead of rolling back the tape 100 times, just check out the link in the show notes. I've got an awesome resource that delivers theme centered practices and class plans for you each and every Monday. Now, I do have some props that I use in the practice. I've got a bolster and two pillows that I use to support myself. I don't necessarily cue it in the actual session, but I do demo it. So if you're moving through the practice and you're wondering how to maybe adapt it and tailor it to be a little more supportive, to use some props along the way, just go ahead and take a peek and see how I'm doing that. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, let's go ahead and begin in a seat of meditation. Sit in any way that is comfortable for your body. And we won't be here too long, maybe about 5 minutes or so total. Once your body has found a place that feels good, cultivate a strong determination to not move again, just for about 5 minutes. Capture your concentration and pull your mind to your breathing. And assign your mind and your concentration the task to stay with your breathing. Notice if your attention has drifted away from the breathing, if you got caught up in thinking. And if so, it is no problem, it's no big deal. As instantaneous as an inhale, come back to your breath. Return and simply start again. Focus on your natural breath as it is. Continue concentrating on your breathing. If you've been to the ocean, perhaps you know the feeling of floating in the ocean and you look to the shore and maybe you see your towel, your sandals, or your family. So you close your eyes and for a minute you relax and you let yourself drift. But maybe a couple minutes later you open your eyes and surprisingly you realize that you're far away from your stuff, from your family, and that the current has carried you away. We'll talk more on that in a little bit, but for now, go ahead and release your opening meditation and adjust the legs, reposition from a seat of meditation to butterfly position. Draw the soles of your feet together and splay your knees out. Once the legs are positioned, pitch your chest forward and lean over your legs until you feel a stretch and a pull on your outer hips and your lower back. It's okay for your back to round and your face to fall in the direction of your feet. But release any idea of what this pose should look like and instead focus a little more on what it feels like. And just like you did in your opening seat of meditation, bring your mind back to your breath. Focus there. Notice if your mind got caught up in the current of thinking. If you've drifted away from the true task at hand, the practice behind the poses of holding your mind and your attention on your breathing. And without any judgment, just bring your mind back, but start to release the position of butterfly. Lift your spine back upright to stack. And as a counter pose, work the knees back together, place the feet flat on the floor, and then stamp your hands behind your hips. Kind of like windshield wipers, let your knees pass from side to side, right and left. Back to the drifting analogy in the ocean, the interesting part, once you realize you've drifted away, is actually what happens next. You have to swim back, and when you do, you'll probably feel some resistance swimming into the current. But that resistance, it isn't a sign that you're going the wrong way. It's actually proof that you're moving back towards what matters.
From here, set up a wide straddle shape, still sitting. Lengthen your legs not only out in front of you, but split them apart so they're kind of like a V. From your hip sockets, do your best to externally rotate your femurs, your leg bones, so that your toes fan back. If you need, you might need to wedge a bolster or a blanket under your hips, or wedge something beneath your knees to create some padding. But once you've found a good place, start to lean forward onto your hands or your elbows, or work your heart between your split legs in the direction of the floor without worrying whether or not anything is literally touching. Move like molasses, meaning very slowly. Press down through your hands, lift up through your spine. Transition to child's pose position. Cross your shins, gingerly roll over your legs. Pass through something like a tabletop on your hands and your knees before settling your hips back onto your heels. And then reach your arms forward, melt your chest, your heart, and your head down towards the floor. Every time we step onto the mat, we're choosing to stop drifting. It's where you return to your breath, to your body, to your intention. The practice isn't so much about never drifting, it's way more about noticing when you have. And just choosing to come back again and again and again. So notice where your mind is. Where's your head at? Pull your mind back to your breath. Every time you do that, transformation is guaranteed. From here, slide out onto your stomach. Belly flop into the ocean of sensation that is found in the shape called Sphinx posture. From reclining on your belly in this prone position, Come up onto your elbows and your forearms. Ideally, elbows somewhere underneath your shoulders. Now notice in finding this position, that stretch feeling, a compressive like feeling on your lumbar spine, your low back. It feels a bit like a back bend. It's okay to feel resistance, literally in your body from doing this shape or in your life. And perhaps the reframe is the resistance isn't bad. Maybe it's actually evidence that you're coming back to yourself. You can stay here in Sphinx, or if you want, you can press down through your hands and try to straighten your arms from Sphinx pose to seal pose. It's a stronger stretching sensation. If you straightened your arms and found seal pose, go ahead and drop your elbows back down to the floor. And from Sphinx, slide the elbows out to the sides so you can lie on your belly, release the posture. Forehead on your fingers, or turn your head to one side so you've got your cheek down on your mat, and just notice. Notice your body. Come back to your breath. Reposition your palms to underneath your shoulders. Push your hips back to your heels for child's pose position. To counter the back bending, feel your low spine release. Pass through tabletop as a stepping stone. to the next position, sweep the legs and feet out to one side so you can sit. From sitting, lengthen your legs out in front of you. And we'll take half shoelace position. Leave your right leg extended straight out in front of you. But then fold your left leg on top of your right leg. Bend your left knee and use your right hand to position the left foot just outside your right hip. Once you have your right leg straight and then the left leg bent on top and folded, start to lean into the stretch until you feel the strings of your hammies tug a little bit, as well as the outside of your left leg pull. Notice the resistance. The resistance isn't a bad thing. The resistance is a good sign. The resistance is a good sign both on your mat as well as in your life, because life has currents too. Seasons of busyness, times of high expectation, moments when you've just been moving on autopilot. And if you're not careful, if you're not intentional, it's easy to get swept up in the current, and the current carries you wherever it's headed. The discomfort you feel when making a change isn't because it's wrong. It's because you're swimming against the current of your old habits. So stay in this shape just a little bit longer. Lean into that resistance, that stretching, that pulling that you feel physically in your body, but also the mental work that it takes to bring your mind back to your breath again and again and again. Good. Slowly roll your way up to sitting. Lengthen your left leg out to meet your right, and take a second here to feel your body. And then change sides. This time your left leg remains lengthened in front, and then the right leg folds across. Bend your right knee and use your left hand to work your right foot close to the outer edge of your left hip. Before leaning into the stretch, Slowly roll your back up to stack and let go. Your right leg lengthens out to meet your left. Use your belly muscles to help roll your way down to recline on your back now. Draw your knees into your chest and then take a reclined twist. Swipe your knees to the right, turn your head to the left, and open your arms. Because of your time spent on your mat today in your yoga practice, may you remember that resistance isn't always something to avoid. Sometimes resistance is the feeling of returning to yourself. May you have the courage to swim toward what matters, even when it feels like the current is pulling you somewhere else. Swipe the knees through the center just so you can change side. This time, knees fall left, head rolls right. Bring your legs back into the center. Draw your mind back to your breath. And then slide out into your final Shavasana. Lengthen your legs long, allow your feet to flop out, and feel your arms and fingers like these tiny little rivers and streams spreading out in all directions. Take a couple of minutes of rest here. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then open your mouth and sigh with a little sound. Open and close your hands a few times. Roll your head sweetly side to side. Engage the muscles of your belly just enough to make your way up to sitting, and end in the same way that we started, some semblance of a seat of meditation. With eyes closed and heart open, may you receive this message and this idea that the current will always be there. The true practice of yoga is learning to notice when you've drifted and having the willingness to swim back. Press your palms together at heart center. Inhale, and exhale, bend forward, just as a sign of sealing your practice. Almost promise to yourself to do your best to live this idea, to share this wisdom with all that you encounter today. And then lift back up to an easy seat. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for coming here and practicing with me today. And I'll see you in the next one.